Hey, welcome. Today we are breaking down the biggest ideas from The Longevity Solution. We're pulling from a fantastic summary on learner.org to give you the key, actionable knowledge you can start using, well, right now.
So, does this sound familiar? You know, every single day, there's a new diet, a new supplement, some new miracle cure for aging. It's just noisy, right? It's confusing. But what if the real path to a longer, healthier life wasn't about the latest trend at all, but about a really simple, fundamental biological principle that most of us have just completely overlooked?
Okay, you really want to lean into this because this is the core idea that honestly changes everything. The book's whole argument is that our bodies are constantly choosing between two modes, either building and growing or repairing and maintaining. Now, when we're young, growth is absolutely critical, but as adults, being stuck in growth mode all the time, that actually accelerates aging. The real secret is learning how to flip the switch over to longevity mode.
So, to master this longevity switch, we're going to walk through our roadmap here. We'll look at how to control it with fasting, how to manage it with something we're going to call the protein dial, then we'll get into the real truth about fats, and finally we'll pull it all together with some amazing wisdom from the healthiest people on the planet.
First up, fasting. Now, this isn't about punishing yourself or just about cutting calories. Think of it as giving your body a very deliberate pause. And that pause, it sends this incredibly powerful signal to switch from building and storing to cleaning up and repairing.
So, how does it actually work? Well, when you fast, you lower insulin and this key growth sensor called mTOR. And we're going to talk a lot more about that one in just a minute. This drop is the trigger that activates something amazing called autophagy. Seriously, just think of it as your body's internal cleaning crew. It goes around, finds old damaged parts of your cells, and recycles them. It's the ultimate rejuvenation process, and fasting is the most powerful way we know to turn it on.
And you know, getting started is so much simpler than you think. You do not need to do anything extreme. All you have to do is extend the natural fast you already do overnight. So try finishing dinner by 7 p.m. and then just push your first meal back to 9 a.m. the next day. And that's it. You just completed a 14-hour fast and switched on those critical repair pathways.
Okay, so let's move to our second principle, and you'll see how this builds right on top of the first. We're talking about protein and that nutrient sensor I just mentioned, mTOR. If fasting is one lever to flip the longevity switch, well, managing your protein is the other.
You know, the best way to understand mTOR is to think of it like a general contractor on a job site. When protein, which is the building material, is constantly arriving, that contractor just keeps shouting, "Build, build, build," which is great when you're 18 and growing, but when you're 40, you really want that contractor to take a few breaks so the maintenance crew can come in and actually fix things.
And this brings us to a really critical trade-off. High mTOR, which is driven by constantly eating a lot of protein, is fantastic for building muscle, but it comes at the cost of accelerated aging. So the goal isn't to get rid of protein, not at all. It's to optimize it, timing it right, getting the right amount, so we can periodically lower mTOR and let that super important cleaning crew do its job.
All right, let's talk about fat. For decades, we were told fat was the enemy, so we replaced all these natural fats like butter and lard with these highly processed vegetable oils. We now know that was a catastrophic mistake. The key isn't avoiding fat, it's about choosing the right kind of fat.
And right here, this is where the problem becomes just crystal clear. Our ancestors, for almost all of human history, ate a diet with a balanced 1-to-1 ratio of inflammatory omega-6 fats to anti-inflammatory omega-3s. But just look at the modern diet. That ratio has exploded to as high as 25-to-1. This massive imbalance is a primary driver of the chronic inflammation that's behind so many modern diseases.
So what's the solution? It's actually really simple. Avoid those industrial seed oils that are hiding in almost all processed foods. I mean, check the labels, they're everywhere. Instead, just embrace the healthy, natural fats our species has been eating for millennia. We're talking olive oil, avocados, coconut oil, and all those amazing omega-3s from fatty fish. It really is that straightforward.
So now that we have the core nutritional principles down, let's zoom out. Because honestly, the best proof that all of this works comes from what we call the blue zones. These are the areas around the world where people consistently live the longest, healthiest lives.
So what do all these people have in common? Well, they're not counting calories or tracking macros. They eat real, whole foods, mostly plants. They don't have industrial oils or refined sugar in their diets. They naturally go through periods of calorie restriction, they move their bodies constantly, and they have these incredibly strong social connections. The thing is, they're living these principles without even thinking about them. It's just their way of life.
And get this, even what they drink supports longevity. Green tea has a compound that actively inhibits mTOR, directly supporting that repair mode we talked about. Coffee is just packed with antioxidants. And red wine, in moderation of course, contains resveratrol, which helps activate our body's own longevity pathways.
So let's just bring it all home with this one quote. This is the core message. Understand that aging is a trade-off, and you can influence that trade-off by using these simple, powerful tools. Practice intermittent fasting, optimize your protein instead of just maxing it out, eat healthy natural fats, and do everything you can to get those industrial oils out of your diet. You know, this entire framework, boiling a complex book down into these really clear, actionable steps, is based on a fantastic summary from Learned.org. So if you're looking for more deep dives that save you time, give you the absolute essential knowledge, that's the place to go. So, we've covered a pretty clear roadmap to help you take control of your own aging process. But look, knowledge is only the first step. Action is what really matters. So I'll leave you with this question. What is the one simple change, based on everything you just saw, that you are going to start today?